All right, folks, how's it going? This is basically, I have a company. This guy I've gotten funding for years has a large oil drilling company. He's all over the nation. He has a hot new technology called horizontal drilling. It's a short radius drill. Each rig is around $300,000. There's a couple of ways they can do it. The pipe, the steel, and the way they have the pipe and go directly down and then curve it to the horizontal level and shoot out underneath the ground is better than fracking, because it'll take any normal well and get 5 times the amount of oil out of the well. And he's only charging like $60,000 per well, and we have a contract already for like 3,000 plus wells right now. So the turnkey option on this business would be basically you'd put up 300,000, maybe 310,000, basically covers the equipment, and retain 80% of the business, which is retarded. Each well is around 60,000, maybe 65, but you're talking a lot of volume. It takes possibly about a week for the well to be drilled. That's got his crew and everything. So you're netting maybe like around 40,000 a week, maybe 35. The rig itself is the equipment. I can get you financing on the whole thing on an equipment loan. It's one rig, and it comes with 3/4 of a rig for the yard for basically spare parts. These crews have a yard, and they have their own welders. And each part has its own identification number, so if things break, they can go weld the part together, or they can overnight it, ship it, and get it going. I mean, it's a big operation. It's a lot of money. Not to mention, the expansion on this thing is off the chart, because every well owner is lined up to do this because they cannot wait to get it done with the last well and get them into the next one and make all the money. So this is a slam dunk turnkey business. Now, if you're interested, I mean, this thing is hot. I mean, I would see the business going even better, because the next contracts or after that, you could raise the price up, more than 60. But at 60, he has unlimited, amount of business for like, I don't know, he's talking like 2-3 years. Super big industry. So that is this industry. It's not really an investment, is purchasing equipment to get set up for a business that runs on autopilot. He's going to manage the whole thing, manage the crew. The thing drills all night. They're there for probably a week, sometimes less, and then they go to the next drill. The only other gross income amounts that might be there is depending on like the location of the wells. Some of them are a little further away, but on the contract, normally the contracts are all in the same field, so it's load up and go to the next well, which isn't that far away. But when you have further away ones, so the expense maybe go from maybe like another $5,000. So you're still talking like 40,000 a week, maybe 35 on a bad week if something broke or something. But still, when you're talking about a $300,000 equipment loan, you're only talking maybe on financing on that thing is going to be maybe probably about $5,500 a month. So you're making, on average, normal $40,000 net minus your $5,500 a month. So you're clearing on one rig like $35,000. And the money can go up from there, because it's freaking, or the company can be bought out, because really there's a lot of opportunity for this thing. Here's a similar setup like that, but if you're interested, I'm telling you, these are ways to make some big bank. The option with this as well is if you want to buy the guy out and get the full price. I mean, he's only doing this for the 20% or whatever. You guys set up the contract, and you can work him out of the deal and then take over the full operation and raise it up. I mean, there's so many wells and it's so big, and he's only capitalizing on one state right now, one certain area. That's it. And you got like, it's super hot because not everybody has this technology, and it's easy to get the contracts because everybody with the well wants to get 5 times more production out of it. It is a no-brainer. Anyhow, so that is horizontal drilling technology for short radius drill beds, doing drilling into the existing wells. All right, so if you guys are interested, that is another thing. I've got some other stuff coming up as well, but all these are autopilot deals. I mean, he'll run the whole thing. You're just collecting the check. I'll get you the equipment financing if you need, or if you want to put up cash. Either way, the financing would be not too difficult. But this business, this turnkey setup, is not going to last for that long of a period of time because it is pretty hot. And he's got it down to where the price is so low that he's just going to get a ton of contracts, and then he can raise the price or do whatever, change it around. So there you go. Give me a call, 312-473-4163. Thanks. There's one thing I keep forgetting to mention on all these turnkey businesses. I'm giving you quotes on the pricing for one individual business setup. So if you're doing this business, it's expandable, and that's the whole point. Like the trucks, you're going to go start out with 2, then go to 4 to 10 or whatever. You're talking $1 million easy a year just on the trucks. You're talking on this, you go 1 to 2 to 3. You're talking already, you're back at like $500,000, $1 million bucks a year because you can expand. That's the whole point. You get these things and you expand and you put them on autopilot. So that thing's clearing after your payment of like $5,500 a month, and you're making, $40,000 a week. So you got 40,000 times 4. That's 160,000 minus your PWAC payment, $5,500. What's that? I mean, you're killing it. You're killing it. So you do, 5 of these or 4 of these. You already put maybe 6. You're doing $1 million a year. Simple. And you got $1 million a year on the trucking. The mattresses is a killer business. That's easy. $1 million per store. I mean, there's no competition. I don't think people understand that. And like on a shipment of like $200,000 inventory, just basically, almost a cargo container, you're talking about $2 million of profit. So, I mean, this stuff I'm giving out or like helping you guys set up with is like from seasoned veterans and people that are very successful, making a lot of money, that have gotten funding for years. You'll meet them, you'll have the contracts, you have the whole 9, and you can get right in on it and just run with it. I mean, anyways, I'm setting it up so you guys got this money and you want to make it and turn it into big money. This is how you do it. You get a bunch of this real stuff going, then we'll get the commercial and all this stuff going, and you keep expanding each one, and you keep putting your money on every deal, and it keeps turning over. You're making the money work for you. The money is working for you. You make your money work. That's what everybody's not getting. Everybody thinks, oh, this costs this costs that. No, it doesn't cost anything because you're making the money work. And that's what everybody's missing out on this whole business, in the country, is like they don't have the money work for you. And if you look at a dollar, every dollar you spend is really like an employee. So when you're burning a dollar, you either have one employee and you put them to work to get other employees and you have them do a job, basically $1, or you just fire them. So like $100 is like really 100 employees, because if you put that money on any one of these businesses, you're talking like 100 times return on your money. If you expand, it could be 1,000 times return on your money. So every single dollar, you're missing out on 100 to 1,000 times return, which would be really, for every dollar you spend is like technically one person that could be working for you. But when you blow it and you waste it and you think you got no money, you just fired your person. Whereas if you take that dollar or that person, which really you want to look at it from a whole nother perspective, that dollar is a person technically, and you want to make it work and have other people work for it. Leverage, residual income, and put it on autopilot. If you change your perspective, you get the big picture. Perspective is not like the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. Perspective is that glass full of water is to put out the fire in your brain that's saying you can't succeed, you can't make it, and this is too hard. It is the successful person that comes up with solutions. This is all about the paths to solution. Every tycoon, every billionaire, everybody is good or great at finding solutions. And all the super rich have had huge problems. I mean, from clear back to the Titans that started America. I mean, you got Vanderbilt, and he's doing the shipping on the river, and it's gotten too much competition. He's losing money and all this stuff. So he said, okay, fine, I'm going to start the railroad. Then he starts the railroad. Then Rockefeller wants to get in, and he gets into kerosene and changes that, can't do anything with it. And then he gets into oil, so he wants to use the railroads. And he don't like the prices on the railroads, but he's got to pay it. So he's trying to jack with the railroad. So the railroad solution is fine. They say, screw Rockefeller, we'll go around his whole damn city. So then Rockefeller's solution, he comes up with piping. And even before that, he wanted to get even with Vanderbilt and the railroad. So he got all the employees all pissed off and that they're being taken advantage of and not being paid enough, and got them all riled up, so mad that they got into fights and went on strike and burned down a bunch of his shit. And his partner was Carnegie. So in order for them to get back at Rockefeller, they went and put in a bunch of oil wells, and Rockefeller had to eat it and pay them a ton of money. So then Carnegie's doing his own steel company, and then Rockefeller later on, he puts in his own steel company. And well, Carnegie was about the highest person paid in the country at that time. Then he had to eat it and pay millions and millions of dollars to Rockefeller. So he went broke. Then you got J.P. Morgan coming up with solutions on everything, seeing everybody's competing. So what's he do? He gets right in the middle of all these people competing, and he says, you know what? I'm going to give you money, I'm going to give you money, and both you guys are going to work for me, and you're going to get along. And that's how J.P. Morgan got to be like one of the biggest banks in the country. So he also sees Carnegie going broke. He goes to Carnegie. He says, how much will you sell? He said, won't sell. After he sent another messenger, he says, well, I'll give you any price you want. So he buys. So Carnegie sends him a letter. I think it was like 350 million back then, which would probably equate to right now would be the amount of like 500 billion. It was like the biggest sale or purchase of a company in history. And Carnegie took it, and then J.P. Morgan took over steel and everything else. That's a solution. So I mean, on and on and on. I mean, I go over the list. It's finding the solution, the path to overcome the problems to making the money. So if you guys are all saying you need to make money, these are the key businesses. You got these businesses on autopilot. You get like every 3 of these, and you're going to buy a barrier entry medical facility, and then you're going to duplicate all this model from not only expanding in the same city, because you got the trucks, you got the oil, you got the mattress thing, you got all that stuff expanding in the same area, general area. Then you send them all to another state. So you've automatically like grown exponentially quadruple. And I haven't even started on like putting up the rest of the other type of businesses that are turnkey, easy to set up. I mean, these are from guys that have done this for a long time. I mean, they're making money because they're wholesaling the thing out after they've made tons of money doing it the full sale. Now they just want to make some money and, you know, set their side stuff on autopilot so they can all get all that going and retire, because they've already made multiple millions. And well, most of them are made in like worth over 100 million, so maybe a little bit less, but like if you count all their assets, easily 100 million. So now you guys want to get into stuff or get your own business on turnkey autopilot. That's it. The solution is the brain, the thought, coming up with the way you format your mind and the way you think about things and the perspective you look at things. You can't look at it like, oh, this costs this much or that. But yet, if you look at the big picture, you're talking, well, if this costs $300,000 at $5,500 a month and you get 10 of them, you're talking $1 million. Then you expand it to another state, you're talking about another $1 million. You set it up in several different states, and it's easy to be bought out by a large super corporation like Shell, BP, or Chevron for like, who knows? I mean, you could make so much bank on that. Same with the mattresses, all this stuff. That's the big picture. Every dollar isn't a dollar spent. It's a person working for you to get more people to work for you. It's how you're looking at it. Every major problem, every super rich person has faced huge problems and overcame them and succeeded. That's the thing. I mean, you got Colt 45 back when guns came out and they only had single shot rifles and guns. They didn't even have revolvers. And what was he doing? Using his brain like everybody else. Sitting around, he had to go join the army, and they ship him across the ocean. And when he's sitting there on the boat thinking about his guns, like you should be thinking about your business, guess what? He's staring at the boat thinking, man, I should be making guns and doing my plan. He's looking at the boat driver steer the boat on the big circular steering wheel, and what's he think of? What's he think of? He gets it in his mind. That's the revolver. Boom. Because his brain is on track and his shit is together and he's got his mind focused and he's thinking, how am I going to overcome this? What do I need? That's how the revolver came about. You got the same guy that invented the TV. He's sitting there thinking, how do I get things stick to the screen and get this projection to stick to the screen and make a TV? He's thinking about it. He can't get it to work, so nothing's working. Because you got the positive and negative and the cathode and all this stuff, and the magnets, the way it sticks to the screen, there's nothing there. He doesn't have any way to do it. So he's constantly thinking about his shit like everybody should be, instead of complaining about, I don't have any money, I can't do business, and all this shit I hear everybody call every day. I just want to hang up on them the first minute, because I could tell in their voice and the level of the way they talk, they are a loser with no money, and they got no plans, they got nothing going on, and they're going broke. That's probably 80% of the calls. The other 20%, they're hardcore people. So this guy's thinking about his shit like he should be, like I'm telling you, climbs up a bird pole, and he's going to clean out the bird nest while he's working at home. Guess what? He looks over across the field, and he sees a guy plowing the field in nice, clean furrows. Lines, lines, lines. Well, bam! What's he think of? The fucking TV. I'm going to put lines in the TV, and the thing's going to stick because it's the lines, it's the graph, it's the format of the TV. Because if you set it up on the lines, he says, that's how you can get the cathode to present the picture and show the display. Because he was thinking about his shit. Same thing with Einstein. He's sitting there looking out the window, thinking about the theory of relativity, and he's watching this dude go climb up the side of the building, and he falls off the roof. And he thinks, well, shit. What if that guy, since he fell off the roof, what would be the speed he would go down in an elevator versus falling off the roof? Then he comes up with the theory of relativity, and he's also thinking about if he projected himself in time and all these things, Then he comes up with the E equals electrons equal mass times constant squared or whatever. Just from sitting there thinking about his problems using his mind. That's what everybody's not doing. You use your mind. That's how you get rich. It's the thoughts placed on your shit, and you're focused and you're dialed into what you're doing, and you have your mind where you have no negatives or anything sidetracking you, and you have your brain on point, then you're going to get all these solutions and visions because you're on your game. Well, everybody knows about Bill Gates. I mean, he went and signed up all the IBM and everybody else and didn't even have the freaking computer language, and then he goes out and he lied and said he had it, and then he went out and bought it from a dude in Seattle for like 40 grand or whatever. On and on and on. What makes people rich is you find solutions to the problems. But if your brain is on your game, the solution is going to show up in your mind. That's just how life is. That's just how things work. So, there you have it. Take advantage of everything. Turn everything to your advantage. Use your brain. Put it on your businesses and how you're going to set up things and get things going, and you're good to go.